Game of Thrones is such a cool show to me because I made a little film called Martians Take Belfast, and guess what's filmed in Belfast in the United Kingdom / Northern Ireland? Game of Thrones, of course. What else would it be? Martians Take Belfast. You should probably watch that movie. It's really good. It's by a filmmaker who I'm a huge fan of. With this portrait, you are going to want to start by drawing a little stick figure and getting the image stuck in your head. Make it like a song that gets stuck in your head. So you think like, okay, this is going to become a super cool Game of Thrones photo. Yes, it is, because you are going to get this image in your mind and make sure it sticks like old gum that you put in your grandmother's chair. Yes, you did. I have eyes in the back of my head. I saw you putting gum when you were 7 years old on her chair. Just drawing it. I estimated a little bit where I need to draw her underarms and arm areas in general. I drew and redrew different times because the only way you can get progress is by making mistakes and estimating where things need to go. I got her little wrinkles in her dress by just taking the black pencil and putting the little lines that go crisscross here back and forth. Draw, smudge, draw, smudge. I took everything from the bottom up, of course, because that's the best way for me to get proper proportions and for you. So start from the bottom up, because if you start up here with the face and stuff, then things get wonky. And that's kind of the first time mistake that most people make. Once I had the dress figured out, I went with this thing that's like a choker and it's around her neck, and had to draw it multiple times. It's like a thing here that keeps her dress up. It's a pretty cool thing, whoever designed that outfit. I also, once I got the choker done, added a bit of shadow in between because that's where it is in the real scene. I really kind of overdid it this time with drawing my features larger, just for the same reason that I always do, which is obviously it's easier. But secondly, you can put more detail into somebody's face if you draw the eyes humongous, because when we shrink them down, they're not going to have as much detail. And also you'll see in this picture that true to life, her eyes have a bit of gray, green, and blue going on. So I don't know what you would call that, a hazel eye color, but it's a beautiful mix. So I want to make sure I captured that. I'm so excited to draw the dragon. You start out with a bit of a lumpy guy, but then there's this really neat option that you can do, which is you can have a custom paintbrush, and it's included for free on your program. So how do you access this super cool feature on your iPad? There's a thing you can go to when you go to the tools, and you go into that and you find this thing that looks like hay, and you use it. There are different settings you can have, but this one you can use to make scales. So that's the one I'm using here. I finally added dots over it, so the dots counteracted with that to make it look super scaly, at least in a cartoony way. Obviously, we're not going for realism here. We're pretending like we were drawing this into an animated movie. Obviously, I wanted a super cute dragon buddy because on the show she raises dragons, and of course he's a dragon, so instead of having a regular pupil, he's gonna have a slit like that. But he's a really nice dude, and he likes her. So I wanted to make sure that's captured. He has a bit of triangle scales, and they are really neat because the triangle scales are kind of given dimensions with, again, you have the drawing of, just basic lines with a marker or a pencil tool, and then you smear them. Shadowed the hand because her hand is doing this to the dragon. So she's petting him as she's talking to people in the series. She's also, if you notice with my face, that I drew kind of angular, and that's not the final face. Never judge anything by that because we go into Facetune and we then adjust everything to have better proportions. One thing that I planned from the beginning that I am so proud of this is giving it a vintage look with a Facetune setup. So you can see that after I did my usual standard stuff, I went in there and added a filter. Voila, we are done. Did you have fun drawing along with me in this one? I hope you did, because it's a I mean, it's my first time I get to draw a dragon with you. I love scaly creatures and supernatural beings, and he's a nice dragon in my version.